In this video, I'm gonna break down something extremely simple. Here's why most people never become wealthy. All right, now I know how the internet is today. There's a lot of people that are talking about things that they don't know or don't have any context for or no moral authority. So I'm gonna give you a little bit about my background just so you have some context and you understand that I actually know what I'm talking about. My name is Greg Brown. I grew up in a military family. IT was my degree. Played Division I basketball, played professionally down in Brazil, came back, worked for 2 years, left my job, partnered with a company in the financial services industry. And now as I've started to build businesses, platforms, and communities, one of the things that I've recognized is the average American doesn't understand how to comprehend money or resources. And that is the only thing stopping us from becoming wealthy. Here's what I mean. When you look at the average American today, how many hours a week do they work? They work 40 hours. If you're doing overtime, let's say 60, okay? I want you to think to yourself, what is the average hourly wage of an American worker today in 2025? And then I want you to think of something outrageous, right? I want you to think of a hourly number that you think is a lot, right? Like what's a number where if somebody told you they were making this amount per hour, your mind would blow up, right? Typically from what I've seen in the job market, if you're making $20, $30, $40, $50 an hour, that's really good money. If you are making $150, $200, $220 an hour, you are set apart. Here's the challenge. If we do the math, 60 hours times $200 an hour, okay? That's $12,000 a week. $12,000 a week times 4, that would be $48,000 a month. Times 12, that would be $500,000 a year. Not many people making $500,000 a year. Let's just be honest, especially on hourly pay, okay? Here's why I break this down, because most of us have been conditioned to get paid based off of a certain amount of time, right? That's why I said per hour. Most of you watching this, when you're looking up a job on Glassdoor or Indeed, you're looking at how much am I gonna get paid per year? What salary? Or how much am I gonna get paid per hour, right? Per hour, hey, 12 bucks an hour, 15 bucks an hour, minimum wage, right? 30 bucks an hour, 50 bucks an hour, government job, 90 bucks an hour, all this stuff, it's per hour. So you're used to working based on time, okay? Here's the shift that has to happen if you want to become wealthy. I want you to imagine that you know somebody that has a really, really big problem, such a big problem that they're willing to pay $5,000 to whoever can fix it, okay? And so you call them up, you say, hey, I heard you have a problem, I can solve it. Now, let's just say you decide to take on that problem, and on your own, it would take you 2 months to solve that problem. You take 2 months, you solve the problem, you call them up, you say, hey, problem solved. That person wires you the money on the phone at that very moment, okay? Here's the difference. Did that guy pay you based off of how long it took you, or did he pay you based off of the problem that you solved? He paid you based off of the size of the problem. Here's why this is important. So if it took you 2 months, you made $2,500 a month, right? Now, if we break that down based off of the monthly and hourly structure that many of us have been conditioned into, and we say, hey, that person worked 40 hours or 60 hours, let's just say 40 for this one. If we take that $2,500 and divide it by 4 weeks, that would be $625 a week. And then 40 hours each week, $625 divided by 40 hours is gonna be about $15 an hour. Here's the challenge. If I accept a position or a job that keeps me bound to that amount per hour, then even if I get better at solving that problem and I can solve that problem in a shorter time frame, I still will only get paid dollars an hour, okay? Because if you get really, really good at solving that problem, you get better and other people have the same problem and they'll pay you the same amount of money. Imagine it doesn't take you 2 months. Imagine it only takes you 3 days. Now what happens? Now you get wired $5,000 every 3 days, okay? Now you just made $1,600 a day. And so if we break that down on our hourly conditioning that we've been taught, if that person's working 8 hours a day divided by 8, that's now $200 an hour. So what's happening? Your income per hour is increasing based off of your ability to solve that problem faster. Okay, it's not based off of how long you've been working there. It's not based off of getting over it. It's just based off of, can you solve the problem? Now, obviously, a problem like this may take pretty long, especially if you're doing it by yourself, because it's a one-man show. It may be a lot of things that you got to work on. Who knows what the problem is? But imagine if you had 5 people with you and you saw this person, you said, hey, I can solve your problem. And you know by yourself, it would take 2 months. But you and 5 people could get it done in 2 days. So you and 5 people do it, what happens? Now you make $5,000 in 2 days. You're making $2,500 a day, okay? So watch this. You make $2,500 a day and you split that between you and 5 people, 6 people, let's see. So now 2,500 divided by 6 equals 416. So everybody on that team made $416 a day. Okay. If you and that team continue to solve problems and you get known for solving these problems for people in 2 days, now people are paying you $5,000 every 2 days, right? Now, here's the thing. You're not getting all of it because you have a team with you, but everyone on that team is making $416 a day. Okay. $416 a day times 5 days in a week, that's $2,000 a week. And then that times 4, that's $8,000 a month. Everyone on that team is making $100,000 a year now because you guys were able to come together and solve problems for people faster than if somebody was doing it on their own. This is how wealth is built. And then the people who understand this and put those teams together typically get paid the most. And so this is exactly how people build wealth. And most people won't build wealth because they're not willing to let go of the idea of working on time and transitioning into working to solve problems. And so what happens is you make 20 bucks an hour and you hear that somebody else makes $1,000 in an hour and your mind automatically says that's too good to be true. That can't happen. And what you don't realize is there are people that are not more skilled than you, not better people than you. They just think on a different dimension than you. And that's why they're compressing time and they're making $1,000 a day doing the same thing that you do to make $1,000 a week. That is the only difference. It's transitioning from working on time to working on solving problems. That shift alone will change the life of everyone who's willing to accept it. Hope this helps y'all. I'm gonna be sharing a lot more content on just some of the things that I've learned throughout my life and my journey and transitions and all this different stuff. We're also looking to launch a community, Evolution community, here soon, where we're gonna be dropping nuggets, book recommendations, just the things that we're learning. Obviously, me and my wife are building a platform, a business when it comes to finance and stuff like that. But I realize there's a lot of people that I know that I'm connected to that they want to be able to learn some of the stuff that me and my wife are learning, but maybe they don't want to get involved in a financial services industry like we are. And I started a process. How can we fill the gap and still make sure that we can make an impact and continue to build the life that we've been called to? So hope this helps. Hope this was some value. Like, subscribe, share, and be on the lookout for more. Take care. Peace.